chat! Welcome back after a nice, lovely weekend where I got barely any sleep, but that's pretty normal at this point for me. Let's pop over to the console gameplay. Last stream we got to level 43, which I am very happy about. Why is the TV feeling so loud today? I swear, some days it feels really loud to me. And it is at like volume 4. I would not be able to watch a single television show at this volume. Welcome back to the stream. I am your host, Yellowfang42. And we are going to start the long haul towards level 44. As I said just a few minutes ago, we got to level 43 at the end, towards the end of last stream, and played a little Birth by Sleep. I punched my way through deep space, tried Rumble Wasting once, had a bit of a fit, and decided to not get into rage. So yeah, that was how that stream went. Plus I was already going way over like the 2 hours, but I was having a blast, so potato potato. Right now I am letting the Dusks beat me up so then the experience boost ability can kick in and I can get 8 XP rather than 4, which is always a plus for me. Very happy for that. And by the way, this level starts off with about 20,000 XP, so we've got about 4 or 5 streams before we hit the next level. Each level will take longer and longer to get through. Unfortunately, that's just how the level scheduling works. Goodness gracious. Well, if anyone wants to share how their weekend was, that's fine. My weekend was interesting. Like I said before, sleep was not my friend apparently. I woke up at various hours of the night, and yeah. But to be fair, for once it was one of those weeks where it's understandable that I have lack of sleep. I just have a regular 1 week where I just have the, pardon the hiccup, worst sleep of my life. I will live with it though. And hopefully, once that is settled, I will get a decent amount. In the meantime, I will enjoy my weird random wake-ups and use them to refill my water bottle, because chances are I probably drank water while I was half asleep. This is not a regular occurrence. Usually I'm a little bit more conscious when I drink water. But that's how it is. Water's good. I made sure it was filled up right before the stream even started. Beautiful thing. Ah, midwinter is fun. That's the joy of being in the northern hemisphere, although I'm pretty sure everybody in the southern hemisphere is currently experiencing hot summer and it's hot as heck over there, so I'm gonna be honest, my regular motto for winter time is I can't wait to start complaining about the hot weather again. That is not a joke. And then in the summer, I say I can't wait to complain about the cold weather. It's a never-ending cycle. Hot weather and cold weather are interesting. Because with cold weather, there's like a certain limit of like you can add more layers to stay warm. And then with hot weather, there's only so much you can do, like in terms of like clothing layers and stuff before you're like, Although then again, there's probably just the clothing styles and options that I currently have are not optimal for hot weather. That is also a possibility. Because folks near the equator manage to survive that. But I am also sun challenged, as in I am a pasty human who will literally be burnt to a crisp if I don't add a ton of sunscreen on. Whee! Such a fun time. Oh my goodness! Still getting the residuals from my weird sleep. You know what's funny? Dreams. Dreams are very interesting. They go along with sleep. And unfortunately for me, I get a lot of dreams about returning to college and university. I have graduated university. I have a degree. And for some reason, my brain keeps thinking that I forgot about a class and didn't attend it, and I know very well that I attended that course, so I don't know what the problem is. I don't know why I keep thinking that I haven't attended a course or something, but I always think I'm there, or in those dreams I think I'm going back to school and I'm setting up my rooming situation and whatever. It's extra funny because I actually remember hearing in the dream about like the dorms in the college layout getting renovated. It's always slightly different, but there's always some hills, always some trees, it's always a smaller campus. And it's always a little bit messy. This time around was real interesting because in the dream someone was like following me around, not like to be like weird or anything like that, just to hang out, but it was kind of awkward because they weren't particularly known to be kind person in this dream, so it was a very strange experience. And then part of the dream, for some reason, I guess there was some like way to see future or something like that. I know the dream in the dream I had, that was weird. Sky was all green and a tornado touched down and stuff. Love me those tornadoes, I say sarcastically. Those are scary little things. I say scary little things, they're scary big things actually. Oh my goodness, big one. I'm gonna ruin the low health siren for you in just a second. The siren really reminds me of when guinea pigs start yelling at you. They make a very similar sound to the siren. I'm not joking, by the way. I won't mimic it on stream, but it's pretty close to the low health. Yeah. Yeah, I grew up with guinea pigs. They were cute. Cute little ones. They squeaked. And sometimes, and a little after, we had to give them to someone else because one of our pets was not compatible with them, so yeah. They were sweet little things. Yeah. Nowadays it's just puppies. And by puppies I mean dogs. I just call them puppies because they're my precious little babies. And I love them so much. They're so cute. One of them that sleeps in my closet half the time because there's room in the closet. I even have like a designated space in the closet for her to sleep. She spent a pretty decent amount of time because I was just laying in bed today because I was exhausted. I had to do a lot of stuff over the weekend. And I sit up and she just happens to be sitting by my bedside, just being my little guardian angel. Love her to bits for that. I really appreciate that she's like my watchdog. It's great. Makes it a heck of a lot easier to like get up in the middle of the night if I need to go get something. Because when I was a kid and even as a young adult, I would get so anxious about going anywhere in the dark at night, which was a huge problem. But nowadays, I'm like, if there was anything sketchy hiding in the house, the dogs would sound the alarm. So, very happy about that. Good golly. I made sure to actually eat food before the stream, like a good 20 to 30 minutes or so, so then that way I'm not hungry during the stream and trying to eat. So I saved myself that trouble. The new trouble is figuring out what the heck I'm gonna eat for dinner tomorrow. I could always just oven bake something. I have the option. But there are some spaghetti and meatballs calling to me. I'm gonna have to start picking out a new recipe though, because I don't want to get sick of the vegetables and gravy or the spaghetti and meatballs. I gotta shake things up soon. Whew. You know what I should do? I should drink some water. That's what I should do right now. I can feel it in my bones. I need water. I did not think I needed that much, but apparently I do. Wow. Okay, that's much better. As per usual, I also spent the weekend while I was taking care of stuff, had a wonder about the existential horrors, figuring out what I'm gonna do with those, figuring out my plans. Other than this, I still like streaming. Thinking about how I'm gonna fix up that one video. I still haven't I haven't gotten around to fixing it just yet. I want to fix it. I'm still really sour about the fact that I didn't record the freaking audio. I'm still super sour about that. So, yeah. I think I just need to get myself in a better mood about it and be like, yeah, well, okay, you learned. You learned this time to remember to attach your dang audio. There you go. Boom. Done. Oh. Why are my eyes watering so bad? It's probably because I'm sleepy. I'm always sleepy though. Not narcolepsy, it's just a lack of sleep. Oh, good girl. A lot of button pressing I'm doing. Whew. There we go. Yeah, let's see. What else has been going on? What other things have shaken up my universe? I almost forgot to put some appointments on my calendar. I'm very glad that I always write them down. Whenever I make an appointment, if I can't access my phone's calendar for whatever reason, when I'm making the appointment, I always make sure that I have it written down physically, or I get one of those cards, especially if it's like at a doctor's office. I always ask for the card. Almost always. Sometimes I just put it in a calendar right away, but sometimes I don't have the time or patience or option, and I'm like, can I have the card? And they're like, yeah. I'm very glad I write down my appointments, so then I remember to actually put them in, so then I get reminders, because I'm like, I was thinking just yesterday, I'm like, hang on a second, do I have an appointment this week? And the answer was, no, it's the week after. But I'm glad I checked. Glad I realized that I hadn't put it in yet. Wonder what I was thinking about. Yeah, probably a lot of stuff. Whew. Oh boy. I wonder. I'm just thinking about this. I wonder. I'm not getting any headaches, but I wonder if, and this is just a theory, if turning on my torch will help with, where's the button? There it is. Got a little Minecraft torch next to my television. That should, I don't know if that's actually helping or anything. I don't know. It's putting a little bit less strain on my eyes, I think. Maybe. I might have to turn on the other light that's on the other side of the television, which is not a torch. Oh, maybe I should get a second torch. I should get a second torch and put it on the other side of the TV. Oh, that'd be brilliant. Nice. Oh, that was a beautiful combo. I finally did work on some writing over the course of the weekend. I think the same night as the stream or something like that. I was like, I need to work on this dang thing, and I did, and I took care of it. And now I gotta work on more, but Not right now, obviously. I'm working on this. I'm working on this crazy project. The longer it goes on, the more pointless it seems to sound, but I'm making a lot of progress considering like the time and the grind. And that experience boost is a huge help. I'm pretty sure that it is saving me a lot of time, rather than just trying to speed through everything. What the heck was that? Well, it didn't matter, so. As long as it don't disrupt what I'm doing, we're good. Yeah. Turns out my ISP had some problems over the past week, so it wasn't just me, it was everybody in the neighborhood that has the same ISP. They were all having problems. It was nutty. Thankfully it's been all fixed, so I'm very happy about it. I'm pretty sure it was the weather that caused problems. That's how it goes. We are making some stellar amounts of progress today. I love that. Now, did I make sure to update the marquee? I'm pretty sure I did. Let me see. Yeah, I updated marquee. Good, good, good. I couldn't remember if I did that because I think I'd forgotten about it. And then I remembered to update it when I was partway through Birth by Sleep or something like that. Something along those lines. Or maybe I remembered it a little after I did something. I don't remember. I know I updated it though, so we're in the clear. Yeah. I just keep the marquee up there because it gives a very brief explanation of what I'm doing. I'm trying to get to level 99 before I fight Twilight Thorn, and then it states what level I'm at. I originally had a longer marquee. Some of y'all might have seen that. But I originally had a much longer marquee, and I was like, I need to shorten this, but the first draft was just the first draft, and I just wanted it done. And then once I updated it, I'm like, yeah, this is a lot cleaner. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Oh, we're gonna get into the 18,000s in about 2 or 2.5 back and forth, so about 20 to 25, maybe 30 of these dusks. That's dependent on our health bar though. As long as we're on a lower end of the health bar, we will get that. Is that what vocal fry is? Maybe I have to put some physical effort into my voice for a bit. Let's try that. Put some more effort into my voice. I do have a slight gravel naturally. Like I don't want to lift my voice up too much, you know? Oh, that's 4s. We're definitely not getting that. I'm just gonna drop the controller real quick. Fix things. And then once I have a low enough health bar, I'll get back to it. There we go. That's much better. Thank you for your contribution. I haven't said that in a while. There we go. Progress! Yay! Yeah, just gotta keep track of that health bar, because that's a major part of this operation. I didn't check what numbers I had at the beginning of the stream again. That's okay, it's probably better that I don't. If I focus too hard on the numbers, I get, like, really, like, I wouldn't say obsessive over them, like a few steps below obsessive over the numbers if I stare at them too long. For some reason, humans really like numbers. And they like seeing numbers go up for certain things and go down for other things. A lot of things are quantified by numbers too. Like, of course, time, pain levels, how much of something that there is. Really sorry about that cough, that was kind of gross. Why is that happening? There we go. And of course, all our video games have some sort of numbers powering them. At the super base level, it's assembly. And then the programs like speak to the assembly to do all of that. It's quite magical. I learned about programming in assembly and it terrified me. I'm like, I do not want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Because I do not want to mess that up. I'm not liable to mess it up, but it's a possibility. Oh, it was like 100, it was 19,500 something at the beginning of the stream, I remember now. I said it before, but these streams and me paying attention to the numbers and practicing my multiplication, division, and so forth, it's been a real huge help for me. Just making my brain remember stuff. The power of math, people. It helps you keep your memories. That's an interesting thought. I've also been thinking about the kind of games that I actually like and enjoy, because most of the time I've enjoyed a lot of games through, like, just watching them. But playing them is a whole different ball of wax. And I'm starting to wonder what kind of games I actually like to play. Which is a good thing that I have a weird variety of games in my backlog on both Steam and the PlayStation, so I will definitely be able to test out and find out what kind of games I enjoy. Kingdom Hearts I just enjoy because of the story mostly, but also I do like pressing buttons to fight things. I'm definitely not the type to do a lot of mini games. Mini games drive me nuts sometimes. I know I seem to enjoy Minecraft on my 2-week binges or so, because I like building stuff, making things look nice and pretty. But otherwise, I like Lego games and I like collecting things. I'm a sucker for fetch quests. I like the illusion of helping people out. Like, for example, on my phone, every once in a while I'm just in one of those moods where I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna play some Sword Art Online, what was it called? Integral Factor? Which is just basically SAOF. Anyway, I quite enjoy the little mini quests that you have to do, where you have to just occasionally fight things, maybe make some dialogue choices, but otherwise just fight some stuff, maybe upgrade your stuff, and yeah, it's all fine and dandy. I like the little fetch quests where you fight specific enemies. Helps you get to know the floor and so forth. And just having a grand old time playing the game. I also really like games with customizing, with character customization. It's just basically me reliving my joy of playing dress-up games from my youth. I'm still young, but I mean youth as in like when I was like baby. Not baby. Basically when Flash games were a major thing all over the internet, and YouTube, you could actually pause the video and it would actually buffer the entire video and you could watch it all the way through, rather than it stopping the buffering and loading when you pause the video. Very important distinction. And when the most ads that were around were like banner ads and not just embedded ones. And the videos that suck half the time. And for some reason, occasionally you get Peppa Pig episodes. I don't mind the Peppa Pig episode ads, those are funny as hell. I think I once watched like 10 minutes of a Peppa Pig episode, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna watch this other video, and I skipped the ad. But I still thought it was the silliest thing. It was like 40 minutes of it, too. I also still remember that one ad that's like 8 hours long. And they're like, wow, you're still here? It's a magical thing. It's a magical thing. Why is my hearing so active today? Good golly. Yeah, it's too bad that... I was just thinking about a walking stick that I bought a few years ago. I just remembered I can't take it to a convention because it's made out of wood, because you don't want some... They only really allow stuff that doesn't whack people, which is very understandable, safety and so forth. Mobility aids are a whole different story. You're allowed to have metal in your mobility aids. But a walking stick probably wouldn't fly unless it was made out of foam or something like that. But I'm like, shoot, it's a shame I can't take that with me. I could take it to a Ren fair, but I'd have to find a Ren fair first. I wouldn't be able to use it in any sort of combat. It would just simply be a prop, though. Only specific foam weapons and so forth are allowed in the combat zones of Ren fairs. I mainly know this through proxy, by other people sharing their experiences at specific Ren and LARP fairs and so forth. You know, just general basic safety stuff. One of these days I'll actually go to a Ren fair again. It's been too long. It'll be a real blast. Magical experiences. We are booking it today. I'm loving that. When we get around 18,500, I can say for sure that we'll have at least 1,000 XP under our belts so far. A rough estimate, I say. Ooh, chilly. Got the chills. Well, hello, puppy. Goodbye, puppy. Sometimes the dogs pop in and visit and ask what I'm doing, and then they're like, oh, you're gaming. And they either hang out with me or they leave. One of the two. If they think they're gonna get attention, they'll hang out, but if they think they're not, they'll just leave. Which is fine and dandy, they know. They know I gotta work. Bam. Whew. Whew. Almost fell asleep a little there, goodness sakes. I'm starting to wonder if time of day is inadequate, but the thing is around, I've thoroughly established this as my stream time, so I can pretty much guarantee that I'm not gonna get disturbed and not gonna get surprise invites to anything around this time of day. So I'm like, shoot, now I can't do earlier in the day. Because earlier in the day is when I would probably actually hang around people. It's always how it is. Plus the only thing it'll cut into is my sleep. If it takes longer than expected. Progress is progress is progress is progress. It's gonna be so trippy actually continuing forward with the game. I know I did technically do that a little bit with the level 35 file, but I haven't touched it in a while, to be honest with y'all. I've been real focused on making more progress with this. that I'm like, nope, I'm gonna lock the hell in. I want to get closer and closer to level 99 so that I can say I've done the work and I've done the time. Just for the purpose of smacking my enemy when I'm at my highest peak. That is the kind of satisfaction that this grind will seek. I'm running out of improvisation. Apologies. Aw, it's a 4. That's okay. We're okay with 4s in this house. 4s are accepted. I already had a whole discussion about Tetraphobia and the other one that is the same, but except it's 13. And my whole deal of the Friday the 13th not being a problem for me. I still think that's the funniest thing ever, that Friday the 13th just ain't a problem for me. I'm just like, oh, that's today? Okay. Fine with me. It's one of my luckier days. Works out for me. Oh. I used to have this tradition on the weeks where 13th does fall on a Friday. This was when Psych was still on Netflix, I would open up Psych and watch the Tuesday the 17th episode, or at least I try to remember to do it, but I frequently forgot about it. I think I only did it twice. But I always thought it was funny to do a Tuesday the 17th watch on Tuesday the 17th. That's just how it goes. Whenever a TV show has a specific date in there, people are gonna watch it on that date. Like, for example, Mean Girls. They're going to watch it on October 3rd. It's what it is. It's especially special when October 3rd is on a Wednesday, because on Wednesdays we wear pink. I have barely any pink. Let me see. Okay. There's a little button down that has pink. And then I think I have another, and then I have a couple of shirts that also have pink, that are more pink. And then I also have a baseball tee that has pink sleeves that kind of fits. I got that baseball tee when I was deep in my Kingdom Hearts era, like in my early Kingdom Hearts era. It was so funny. It's got the word Roxas on the back. It's so funny. I should have gone for the number 13 instead of 00, but, you know, I was trying to be cool. You know what's funny? I'm so glad that the folks that were ordering the shirts were like, you know what? Yeah, whatever. Just letting me be a silly kid. I really appreciate that. Why is my thumb cramping? I should not be getting this pain. That's illegal. It's not necessarily illegal for my hand to be in pain. It's just real annoying when I get the sharp pains. It probably means I need to stretch my dang hands. Whew. Big stretch. That's fine. There you are. Okay, just taking an extra second to move my arms around. Oh my gosh. That was really loud. You probably didn't hear a single thing, but a large portion of my spine just made loud popping noises. The whole Rice Krispies. I guess I made a Rice Krispies. Oh. Wow. Yeah, Baroni. So I've learned to throw a ball with my left hand because I'm a lefty. I write with my left hand and do a lot of things. But my right hand does like one or through quite a few other things just because it's a very right-handed world, so yeah. And that includes using my mouse. But I decided to start learning how to throw a ball with my right arm because I don't know what it is, but for some stinking reason, I always think there might come a day where I suddenly lose my left hand or my left arm, and I won't be able to do a lot, including writing. So every once in a while I pick up my pencil and I just write with my right hand instead of my left. Because I'm like, well, what if I lose my left arm? I'm gonna need to learn to do a lot of stuff, and that included with my right arm. Plus, I think it'll just be nice for me to practice throwing a ball with my right arm. So, been doing that. I've discovered that the holding it by the fingertips is how I throw the ball best. It's good. It's good practice. Been thinking about getting back in that shape, being able to like physically move and not be dead tired all the time. Like getting my stamina and endurance back up. Because I used to be a monster. I used to do lots and lots of kicks and punches and stuff. I was in a karate class. And we also used to do a lot of push-ups. I dominated a push-up competition once. Partially because I was just that dang good, and the other part was because I was not about to let that dang boy win. I was like, there is no way I'm letting this boy win. Because he was a little bit arrogant, so I'm like, you know what, boy? I'm gonna school you in the art of push-ups, and I out-push-upped him, and I was very proud of it. Still proud of it. Nowadays, I can probably just get through about maybe 5. Maybe. I haven't tested it in a while. I know my core strength is so garbage that I can barely get through a minute-long plank? I almost said prank. That ain't right. Wow. Oh, that's a hiccup and a burp all at once. That's nasty. Sorry about that. Oh, I just remembered. I'm going all over the place with my talking, but that's how I usually do. I just remembered. I also kind of a little bit like third and first person shooters. I kind of like them. I'm not particularly good at them, but I have a lot of fun. I like doing the click the button and then boom, boom, boom. I used to play Destiny 2, but the reason I stopped playing is because the damn game kept updating and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, there is no point in playing this freaking game if it's gonna take up all the freaking storage on my PS4. I want to play some other games, damn it. So I uninstalled it and was like, I can't do this anymore. I miss being able to do my regular sniping where I would just go land on a random world, perch up somewhere high, and practice using my little rifle. I don't remember the exact mods that the rifle had on it, but one of them, it didn't matter if it got into a whiteout condition or anything like that, or any sort of fog. As long as I had my crosshair on the enemy, it would highlight them in red, in a little red line, and I knew, BAM! That's when they go down. I love that rifle. I miss it. And I can't remember the name of that rifle either, which is a real shame. It's a real shame. I once had my Destiny login. I cannot remember it for the life of me. I should probably figure that out eventually, just so that I can look at it. I do also remember, though, that I had a favorite machine gun in that game. I think it was called a Ross Lysis 2. So it's spelled Ross is spelled with only one S in that. But I love that thing. I don't know. Something about the way that it handled was just real nice. And I was so upset about it when I switched out my gun for something else when I was doing the Forsaken campaign, that when I got it again just at a random drop, because it's just a random generic weapon. But when I got it again at a random generic drop, I was like, oh my gosh, my baby's back. And then I realized I was baby talking a gun. And the VODs for that are in fact on my Twitch. Surprise. Funny thing though, I've been thinking about properly downloading and categorizing all of the files, at least those particular VODs, so then I could rewatch all the way through them, find where I first had to replace the gun, and then like go through the entire thing and just make a whole compilation of me missing a single particular gun. I just think that's the funniest thing. That I'm like, oh, I miss it so much. Because it handled well. It did the damage that I liked, and it was great. And I loved handling it. I don't know what it was. I loved it. I love my sniper rifle, and I love my sword for close combat because even if I ran out of ammo, I could still do damage. It was crap damage, but I could still do something with it. It was a real help. Although I had something else with a little bit more firepower that I had as my heavy weapon, and oh my gosh, I love that thing too. It made really loud noises. I think it was one of those belt-fed type guns. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. I only ever remember my main weapon because that thing was so freaking useful. I loved it. Loved every minute. If Bungie manages to optimize the hell out of Destiny 2, I will re-download it just for the sake of goofing around. Because that's all I ever did, to be honest with y'all. That's pretty much the 90% of whatever I did. Maybe participate in some campaigns and learn to actually do all the fun, hard stuff, difficult stuff. Yeah. That makes me think. I like doing a lot of like low stakes chill stuff these days. Like creative mode in Minecraft, or what else? What was the other thing? I kind of am low-key interested in the Sims, but at the same time, the way it seems like a lot of people, the only way to really enjoy the game is to either mod the daylights out of it or get like 9 million packs. Which is insane because all of the packs combined are just way too freaking expensive, and I don't want to shell out that much for all that. I mean, there is always mods, but yeah. Shoot, I would probably just end up playing around with the creation, the character creation aspect and sim aspect of that. Not even anything else. I used to also like playing the Roller Coaster Tycoon game, specifically the third one, because the third one had an option where you could play sandbox mode and just build stuff and build up your park. I should do that again sometime. Make a stream where I just build up a park. The problem is I would need to either A, do some shenanigans to install it and make it run, or B, try to run it on my old computer and then stream off of the second PC from there. And the trick with that is that it is a little bit laggy. Actually, you know what? It might be better that I don't. Yeah, it's better that I don't stream off of the old PC. It'd be better to just install it. I think I'll do that sometime soon. I'll reinstall Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. That way I can play around on it. And it'll be on a computer that it doesn't chug on. So, even better. And even more fun is that if you slap music in the music folder, you'll be able to use it in your game. That was always a fun thing, and I was like, ooh, fancy. I also used to listen to a couple of the tracks that were in that little folder in like the base game stuff. Like the track Nemesis Quest, I used to listen to that on loop because I thought it was so cool. Do I still have that video somewhere? No, I probably nuked it. I don't think I have that one anymore. It's probably gone. Rest in peace. It might still be around, who knows? Why is my leg cramping? Why are you cramping? Don't do that. Don't cause me pain. There we go, I fixed it. Whoa! Looks like these boys are gunning for me today. Sorry, pals, but you're not adding to the death count today. Maybe your next iterations will, but not you. Whew. You know what I think would be a fun little side quest to do? It's playing some God of War. I literally have that installed on my PC. Not PC. I literally have it installed on my PS4. God of War. So I'm like, you know, maybe one of these days I'll actually play the dang game instead of just having it sitting there. Same with Stray. I still haven't even booted up Stray. Like I keep saying, I have a backlog, and I just play the same 5 games over and over. I like collecting things with mildly low stakes. I don't like making my blood pressure rise too much. I don't have the stones to do it anymore, which is a real shame. I ran out of stones. I dropped them on the floor and I can't find them anymore, so I gotta pick up some new ones. I wonder if I start like getting back into shape, if that'll make it a little easier to do, like easier to handle this stuff. I'm just a little scared of pushing my stress a little too high, because this was back like between my second half of my college life and basically between my first and second years of actually going into school. I was at home and I was trying to complete Kingdom Hearts 1, and I could not beat that last Ansem Gauntlet. He was whooping my ass over and over and over. And this one particular attempt to beat him, I got like halfway down to the green. I was so close, so dang close to actually beating him. And then I got whooped, and my body was so tensed up that it just seized up all the muscles, and I fell over off of my chair on the floor. Thank goodness, I was only like a foot off of the floor from where I was sitting, so it was an easy fall over, and I just kind of sat there and had to accept my fate until I managed to get at least one of my arms to move, and then I had to wake up all my poor muscles by squishing them a little to make them able to move again. It was a really crappy situation, to be honest with y'all. Yeah, so still a little scared of the possibility of experiencing that again, because that was not pleasant. I'd rather not live through that again. That was horrid. Not 0 out of 10. I like to think it's funny, but unfortunately, based on my own reaction to me being even slightly heated about the whole rumble racing thing is not boding well. I'm just like, oh no. Yeah. I think there's just a couple things I need to take care of before I do any more high stress stakes type games. I think that's what my problem is. For example, maybe, just maybe, I should learn to kick. I used to do lots and lots of front kicks, and sometimes in our karate classes, we would have we would do like 500 kicks. I can't remember if it was for a reading foundation or something like that. But we would do a little kickathon, and it was real fun. I really liked it. And we would kick for hours, and it was like the first, well, maybe not for hours. It would just be up to 500. I don't remember how long that time was, but it was a real blast. I got some good legs from that. Yeah, I was thinking about that because just a couple days ago or so, I decided to I was like, I wonder if I can still do my punches and kicks despite the fact that I don't work my muscles like I used to. The answer is yes, but there is definitely a lot of, there's definitely a little bit of atrophy. Well, okay, there's not really much in the way of atrophy, more like just not using the dang things like I should. I turned into quite the sedentary person the past couple of years. It started back in like 2021, 2022, and it just, It just kind of went downhill from there. Oh no, maybe it was 2019 that it started. Oh shoot, it was sooner than that. Crap. Yeah, it was definitely sooner than that. Golly, that's kind of sad actually. That's real sad. So it was just going downhill in 2019. That's really depressing. Oh, you know what? That makes sense. That makes plenty of sense. Okay. That makes plenty of sense. Damn it. That's not swell at all. But yeah. Yeah. I still remember the form for the blocks as well. I was thinking about this also while I was brushing my teeth. I've just been thinking a lot about like my karate class stuff that I used to do all the time, and I'm like, maybe I could just try to remember how a whole hour class went. I can't remember some of the stance names, which is a real problem if I even consider going back in, because I'm like, I don't want to go back in knowing nothing. I don't want to make it seem like it's all been a waste, because it's been so long. Well, it hasn't really been a waste. Technically, I still remember how to do a lot of things. But the problem is that I might not have the muscle capacity to be able to physically do them. So, like, the technique is there, but the muscles aren't. So I need to fix that. Punches feel really good to do. Because you gotta have your fist, as they say in the chamber, at a certain level. You can't have it sitting at your hip, because then you don't get as much power. You gotta have it a little higher in the chamber. Because, not too high, though. Just like about midway in your rib cage. Because that adds more power, and as you punch, you obviously, like, turn your hip into it when you're actually delivering a punch. Bam! And you gotta have your thumb outside your fist, and your fist real tight, and you only punch really with your first two knuckles. It takes a while to learn that. And you don't let your wrist go limp either, because otherwise you bend it and it hurts. Oh boy. I don't remember if I did that, but if I did, I was a little kid when I did it, so I don't remember anything from that. I used to be real good. Sometimes when we would spar, I would accidentally fist bump the sparring partner, and it didn't hurt. The fist bump did not hurt. It hurt them, but not me. My fist was tight as heck. I was holding on. I had tight fists, so as if I was holding on to a piece of candy for dear life and not letting anybody take it. That is how we were told to do that. It was a great analogy, if you ask me. A real great analogy. Oh wait, that's not an analogy. It's more like a example. Ooh. I'm thinking about something that's not related to karate class, just because my brain is doing like 15 different lanes, and as long as I talk, at least one of the lanes gets opened up, so I get like 15 million different thoughts going at once. It's a real pain in the butt. But one of them is bothering me right now because it is an active problem that I am feeling in my bones, and it is being so tired. Being so tired that I can picture the dream world. That's my problem right now. Get that AI shit out of here. Okay. Well, there are no searches that are gonna help me. Nope, no actual searches that are helpful. But basically, Sometimes I'm in the Eepy Sleepy world, and the closer I get to the Eepy Sleepy world, the easier it is to remember some of the dream worlds that I have visited. Like I said before, I revisit the university, although the university does change slightly. One time, the university big building turned into a museum and we had to run from a big old monster in it. That was a weird dream. Had a lot of staircases too, that was a real pain. I think I took a different staircase route and it ruined somebody's life in that one. That really sucked. Ooh, another one just came up. There's like a couple of cities that I remember, and there's like a mall in one of the cities that I very vividly remember. That mall is a pretty nice mall though. Now that I think about it, I think I've been to a mall that looks like that, but I can't remember where. Whoa, whoa, everybody's going for me today. No, it's just a super vivid memory of a mall, but I remember the dress shop specifically. There was a little dress shop that was in the corner. It kind of had a bubbly shape and stuff, and weaving in and out. No, I swear I've been to that mall before. There is a specific store somewhere that I've been to before in my dreams. It ain't at the mall that I've been to in the past couple times, but it's in a different town. It's there though, or I'm mixing it up with something. See what I mean? There was definitely a Hot Topic in that mall in that dream though. I remember that. I remember wandering around there. Goodness sakes. My dreams get real vivid, which can be a help and a hindrance. That reminds me, I never finished talking about the other one that I had just this morning. In the very last part of the dream, there was this sort of thing that was basically like checking the past, present, and the future. And like you lift up these orbs that have, for some reason, they were like herbs that were planted in these different alcohols. I don't know what it is. The past was like gold's mulled wine or something like that. And you only take like a small bit of the herb and you're supposed to like eat it at the same time, kind of take it like a pill or something like that, and then you get a vision of like if you're drinking from the past, obviously the past, or the present or the future. And then there's like a fourth one that's like a teacher to help like interpret the whatever all four the other three are like seeing at the same time. And I was kind of a bit hesitant because it was my first time like doing that, because I was like, oh, this is actually pretty new to me. And I just kind of went for it, and everybody's like, oh shoot, gotta go for it, and we all went for it. And I don't remember what was going on in that vision, but I do remember I still had trouble with it because I couldn't actually down it, so it wasn't properly kicking in. And when I was like fading into waking world, I did start to wonder if I accidentally ate a spider. So yeah, I'm still wondering if I ate a spider this morning and didn't realize it. I kind of hope I didn't, but the possibility is there. Ate a spider to assert dominance. That is not actually true though. That's if it did happen in my sleep though. And I still had my hand curled in the same way, as if in the same way that I did when I got the little bits of herb for that. But I was like, oh, okay. Well, this is a thing. Magic. I think I might use that concept in a story. I don't know what story I'll use that concept in, but I better write it down at some point, so. I gotta figure out what the other two, herbs and so forth would correlate with the present and the future and stuff. And then the quote-unquote teacher one for like the helping of the interpreting the all three of the things, because it's all supposed to happen simultaneously. Weird shenanigans that happen in dreams, man. Adds to the experience, you know. There was another one I had. Another dream I had. This one was pretty fascinating, actually. I think there was some sort of zombie apocalypse going, but there was less zombies and more of just wasteland stuff. I want to say kind of like Fallout, but I haven't played enough Fallout to give a proper like comparison. It definitely had like a green hue going on and jumping over things and trying to avoid enemies and stuff like that. But I also remember having to climb in and out of a manhole cover or something like that, and there was like a mall that it was connected to, at least on the ground level. There's a lot of weird, fascinating dreams I get. The zombie dreams get really freaky though. One of them, I'm pretty sure I remember blowing up a building so then it would cut off the really bad zombies from resurfacing and starting the apocalypse all over again. But it did take out a couple of people who were really focused on this pile of gold or something like that. There was like a book involved too. And there were also friendly zombies, which was even more trippy. I bet I have it written down somewhere. I am 99% sure I wrote that down somewhere. Because I remember drawing up the quote-unquote book, but it wasn't really a book. It kind of had like an accordion type thing going on. And there was a key. You had to unlock it with. I think that book had something to do with it. The whole apocalypse thing. Like I said, my brain's constantly telling me stories, and I gotta play them out and write them down. Whew. Keep attacking the enemies, so we can get what we want to do. There we go, fixed it. Trying to stay in the awake zone is a little bit difficult right now. I can physically feel my brain dragging me down, which is a real problem. You know what I'll do? I'll take out these 3 and try to do 5 push-ups, maybe 10 if I can pull it off. Hopefully my knees don't scream at me when I do it. I'll do 10 and drink some water. Just as long as I don't say anything weird or something like that. Let me get down to the floor. Whee! Whee! It doesn't actually go any faster if I hop like that. It makes it worse. Alright, I think I need to drink the water first, actually. Alright, let's do this. Drink the water. Forever the good stuff. Alright. Stand up. Yep, I definitely needed to move my legs because my knee is actively screaming at me. Let's see if I can do 5 or even 1. Yep. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm doing push-ups. 6, 7. Why is my vision shaking? 8, 9, 10. All right. That's good. Got the blood pumping. That should keep me awake and alive for a little longer. Goodness sakes. Whew. That actually felt real good. A little bit of push-ups goes a long, long way. Damn. Whew. Maybe I should start doing that every stream. That way I do at least 30 push-ups a week. Ooh, you know what'd be even more hilarious is in the stream, since I do the stream intro and it takes about 2 minutes and 22 seconds. I should see how many push-ups I can do in those 2 minutes during the stream intro. Which would work except for the fact that I wouldn't be able to do that for the full 2 minutes 22. Because I'm also posting notifications on my socials. I'm like, hey, I'm live! Oh, my wrist hurts a little bit from trying to do those push-ups. Well, actually, I did do the push-ups. So, my wrist just hurts. It's like, why did you make me work? And I say, you know what? You need to do the work, gosh dang it. You're getting lazy. Oh my goodness gracious. Still feeling it. That's okay. Because guess what I'm gonna do? Instead of doing more push-ups, I'm gonna lay back down because that feels real nice. I should do some sit-ups too, work on my core strength. That's the main thing I want to work on, is get my core back in shape. So then my back doesn't do a lot of the work anymore. Because it does a lot of work. Thankfully, it's not any lifting. I lift with my legs. I always make sure to lift with my legs, so. My legs need to get in better shape so that I can lift more. Ooh, we're making great progress right now. Well, let's take some damage first before we do any taking out of the dusks. You know, there's another game that I realized I still have installed. I even have a couple characters up and ready to go. Still haven't properly played it because, as usual, I like playing around with Character Creator a lot more. Code Vein. I literally have that downloaded and still haven't played it. I think I'd have a lot of fun with it, but gosh darn it, I keep not playing it. I wonder what would happen if I played that. Probably not much. It'd be interesting. I'd probably be doing a lot of squinting at the screen. If I remember right, the UI is a little tiny for me. For eyeballs. Oh my god. I need to call my freaking eye doctor. Holy shit. I'm saying that with my whole chest. I really need to call my damn eye doctor and be like, alright boss, I've got a plan. I need to get some bifocals because my eyesight is so bad that I can't see beyond 5 or 6 inches from my face. It's that bad. You know, the worst thing is that it feels like every time I get new glasses, it just, my eyesight just gets worse. Probably because my eyes just keep getting lazier and lazier and compensating backwards, and it's just like, stop doing that. Behave yourself. Gosh darn it. I'd say I go a week without my glasses or something, but I need those to drive. I legally can't drive without them. At the time of getting my license, I wasn't allowed to get my license without the whole restriction on it that says, hey, this person needs corrective lenses. Because otherwise, I can't read the signs. To be fair though, if I did actually like lose my glasses while driving or something like that, I could still like safely get to a place during the daytime. The nighttime is a little bit more questionable. As long as I can see something, I know that there's gonna be an object there. And I'll just assume that a motorcycle is a car and give it a lot of space. I prefer not to, but I've had a lot of practice in Mario Kart with the ink guy. I can get around that. It does not bother me. Yeah. But I probably should call my eye doc and be like, hey, long time no see. let's get that appointment in, and let's hope and pray that I will behave myself and let my eyeball get the puff. I will probably not do that. Hello again! Good to see you, Shinigami. Sorry about the weird accent that I have. I don't know why, but for some reason my brain decided to settle into a stereotype of a southern accent. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's a habit at this point sometimes. Sometimes. What? Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully I remember tomorrow, or at least just have the guts to be like, Doc, I need to see you about glasses. Give me your thickest Coke bottle lenses. It's gonna be really funny. We'll have a lot to catch up on. And I'll probably need to get new frames because these things are plastic. They probably deteriorated. Well, that's good. I had a friend who was raised in Mississippi, and oh boy. Whenever I did the accent, it drove him nuts. I think it was just because it wasn't quite the regional accent that he was used to. To be fair, I also drove him nuts because whenever I spoke Spanish, I would speak with the Spanish accent, and the Spanish accent has a little bit of a lisp going on. Yeah, that was still funny. Yeah. I kind of miss being down south sometimes. Every once in a while, I'm like, maybe I'll go visit Virginia again. That was real nice. I liked it, especially during the fall. I really liked it if leaves turned red. I think the area I lived in for a while, the leaves were mostly yellow, but they were really pretty. Whoa, wait a minute! I just only took out those guys. I didn't take out the other half. Yeah. Oh, it'd be extra fun to drive along the Blue Ridge Parkway. I love driving along that, except at night. It was creepy at night. For a lot of reasons. Including the obvious ones of, like, don't play around in the Appalachians type things, or Blue Ridge Mountains at night. Ooh, boy. Ooh, that's fair. Yeah, I forgot about that. Virginia isn't technically south in a lot of cases. That's a good point. It's like in that awkward mid-zone. Yeah. I forgot about that. I can't remember if the running joke was that the state just a little bit more north of a southern-ish state is like, oh no, they don't count as the South type thing. But I think, yeah, Virginia's the case where, yeah, that does make sense of it being more central, yeah. Fun place, though. Real fun place. I want to travel to more places. I think I actually made a list a while ago of, like, all the states that I remember I have actually been to. Did I remember to include California on that list? I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah. I think I've been to half the states. I don't know if traveling up to DC counts. I mean, it's not really a state. But there was, like, an area outside of the main DC complex area, the 10 square mile-ish thing. I think it was technically in Maryland? I need to double check that. Let me double check that real quick. Once I get my health back up. Let me see if the... I want to see... Yep, okay. It's technically in Maryland. So technically I have been in Maryland. Huh. That's fancy. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. I used to do a lot of driving, so it was real fun. Yeah, the furthest northeast was Maryland, and then the furthest southeast was Florida. I visited Florida a few years ago. Actually, less than a few years ago. I forgot about the work trip. That was an interesting work trip. Where am I going? There we go. And then there was California. I've been there a couple times. Been to all the West Coast states, that's for sure. Haven't been to all the East ones yet. North Carolina I've been to also? Yeah. I don't count when I land in an airport, because I'm not technically out and about in the state. So I can't, for example, I've been to the JFK airport, but I can't count JFK airport to be, like, having visited New York or something like that. I can't remember if I've been through the Denver airport or not. Nah, I think I'm mixing it up with the Colorado one. Wait. Denver is in Colorado. Oh my gosh. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so I've been to those. Been to Utah. Been to Colorado. I think I passed through Wyoming, Montana, Minnesota, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. I think I've been through Kentucky. Yeah, I think I've been through Kentucky for sure. Because I think I passed through I think it was the 70 or the 60 on there. Definitely been through West Virginia. Whenever I was traveling that way, whenever I passed the state lines, I would always try to put on Take Me Home Country Roads. So then it would play the chorus just as I'm passing into West Virginia. Oh, that was a good time. I really like that. Definitely been through Nebraska multiple times. That was a fun time. Iowa and Missouri. What other states? Have I run out of states? I should have listed about 25 of them. I think I mentioned Florida and North Carolina. Because North Carolina, there was like this one time we landed in NorCal for that. Wait, NorCal doesn't work because usually that's North California. That doesn't work. I just remember passing through there. Been Idaho. Oh, I skipped Idaho. That's what I was forgetting. Have I been through Colorado? No. I think I've been through Wyoming for sure, though. Definitely Wyoming. Nevada. I forgot about Nevada. Nevada was a little bit trippy, and I don't know if it technically counts because it was mainly Vegas, because there was like a Vegas trip that we went on. It wasn't to party it up, no, it was like there was like a work conference or something going on there, and I just kind of tagged along. I was like, wee! Pretty interesting trip that was. Passing through Montana is a freaking nightmare because that state is wide. I know Texas is pretty wide, but also Montana is just wide. Especially if even if you're on the 90, you're just like, oh, when does this state end? I think I'll take Nebraska over passing through Montana any day. To be fair, I think the times when I was passing through Montana on the 90, it was both times it was like at such a grueling pace that it was just unbearable. So maybe next time I pass through Montana for some reason, I think I'll take it at a slower pace. I think that might be a wiser idea. Hawaii, I forgot about Hawaii. I went to Hawaii as a kid. I forgot about that. Well, more like a teenager. Again, we didn't really do much of beach going. We went to like cool sites. We got to see some pretty cool places, including where they filmed a lot of different things. What else? I have vague memories of that trip. I do remember, like, on the way there, I happened to be sitting next to this one gal's, her kids, and so I kind of, like, they weren't that much younger than I was. They were about my age. But I still, like, watched over them, made sure to wake them up for if they needed snacks, or, like, or made sure to pass along a message if their ma was like, hey, did they need snacks? And I was like, hey, your ma's asking if you need snacks, or something like that. You know. Just being a neighbor on the plane. I do remember on the landing, it was a little bit like a roller coaster. That was real fun. Because the pilot took a little extra dive to make it to the runway at the right angle, and where everybody was like, whoa. That was hilarious. Gosh, I want to travel more. But it's scary. Yeah, solo traveling is a little sketchy. It gets scary. And the max I can do on a day if I solo travel is about 6 hours. Other than that, it's just like, no. And 6 hours is like with 2-hour breaks, otherwise it just gets nasty. 3-hour travel isn't too bad. That's usually pretty easy. I just usually take breaks to stretch my legs and make sure my car has gas, so then I don't have to fill up at my destination. Because some places I'm just like, oh, I do not want to deal with the gas stations in this city. Especially if it's a big city. I hate filling up in bigger cities. I like filling up in places that are a little bit smaller with a lot less traffic. Because then I'm not dealing with weaving in and out and not accidentally going into a random side street that, oh shoot, I'm going the wrong way on this one-way street, that sort of thing. It drives me nuts. I'm just like, too many options, or not enough options, or I don't know where I'm going because I'm lost and I'm unfamiliar with this place. Yeah, I've been I can definitely tell, though, I've been yearning to go on a road trip, because I keep thinking about it every once in a while. I'm like, man, I just should pick up and go road tripping somewhere, and then I'm like, girl, you need to plan these things in advance. Because if you don't plan them in advance, you're going to get real surprised real fast. I think I'm doing pretty good on the oil, though. I haven't needed an oil change yet, but I've also not been driving as much as I used to. Fun fact, if you drive across country, chances are you're going to need an oil change at the end of the trip. You're guaranteed. If you drive from coast to coast in the US, you are going to need an oil change. Because it's approximately about 3,000 miles. And that's without, like, occasionally running the car to warm it up a little bit, especially if you travel in the winter. Oh, gosh. I just remember traveling the winter in Wyoming. It was one of those times where, like, it's those pick a lane and stick to it because you don't know where the lane is. So I did that, and one of the times I was sitting behind this semi, and I was like, you know what? We're all driving slow, and I just want to. I made sure that I was behind, but gave him a little bit of space. And then once I gave him some space, I turned on my flashers, and everybody else did behind me. So then we all knew, okay, we're all driving slow here. We're all just trying to make it home. The highway wasn't closed yet. Fun fact, by the way, on the what was it? It's the on and off ramps along the 80 in Wyoming. They actually have gates, so they will tell you if they they will close off the gate for on ramps, so you can't get back on the highway if you go off them, if it's bad enough. And they even sometimes like close off the highway and redirect people to the off ramps if it's like bad enough out there. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with that. But I saw those gates and I was like, ooh, it can get real spicy. And in the case of the car I drive, it would be extra spicy because it is not a high ride car. It doesn't have a high center. It's not a low rider, but it wouldn't have very much fun in a lot of snow, so yeah. It can handle the snow. It just wouldn't be very fun. Yeah. There we go. More damage. What are you doing? Where are you going, sir? Why are you flip-flopping all over the place? Why are you flopping like fish? There we go. Got it. Making some real good progress here. Oh, it's a puppy. Hello, puppy. The puppy didn't say hi. The puppy just passed by. Oh. Man. There's something real magical about driving down a highway. It's just you driving fast-ish. And then if you put on music, it's extra fun. You get to have your own car karaoke session. It's real fun. Lots of places I would love to go. Some places I just want to go so then I can say I've been to the States and then I can say I've been to all 50 or something like that. Eventually I am going to do that, but not yet. Something like that. I tend to... I don't know what it is. Like, hang on, let me push back into my usual voice accent. Every once in a while, when I'm a little bit tired or something like that, and I want to make sure that I don't squish my words or slur my words, you know? Like, I want to make them more, like, obvious. Instead of doing, like, a transatlantic accent, which is the standard type of thing that they used to do in films all the time to make their voices clear, for some reason, I just go, country or southern-ish. And that's how I end up being able to enunciate and speak easier. I don't know why it's easier for me to speak like this. What's funny is if I take a nap or something or stop speaking for a little while, it'll go back to normal. Or if I push it, I can get my voice back to the usual voice accent. Although I think my normal voice sounds a little fried. Why does it sound a little fried? I used to, oh jeez, it's really fighting me to not, yeah. Yeah. Oh man. What was I saying? I was saying something about... My brain is actively fighting me right now. It's like, I want to go back. It's easier to speak like this. Oh. Oh, now I remember what I was trying to say. I used to, a few years ago, I used to regularly practice like different accents a little more often. I kind of stopped doing it because I didn't feel like it was appropriate for me to do. Like, or at least I was like, I need to figure out a way to adjust how I do this specific accent so it doesn't sound very stereotypical. That's what I was trying to avoid once I stopped doing it. I was like, I better not. Like, like, if I do, for example, if I tried to do an Indian accent, I'm not gonna do it obviously right now. But if I tried to do it like Indian as in India, it would sound like a stereotype if I tried to do that accent. So I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how to do that without it sounding like any sort of mockery or stereotype. And whenever I try to do any sort of UK-based accent, it usually turns into more of an English-type accent. I can't do a Scottish one. I always mix up the Scottish and Irish accents, which is a real pain. Because I know there's a difference. I can pick up the difference. But I can't get my brain to actually physically make it. I think I just need to find the right words to be able to get myself to be able to speak like that. There's like little subtle differences in a lot of accents. Like obviously there's a lot of different like shoot, down south there's a lot of different southern accents where like they call like some of them are like Southern Belle, and then some of them like it's like a lot more backcountry, and then some of them are like more refined or whatever, or something like that. But like there's a bunch of different like accent dialects down to the south. And then I don't exactly know what the Pennsylvania Dutch accent actually sounds like, but I mean, I mentioned the transatlantic one, and that one was basically used a lot in film, so then words were heard a lot better on the audio equipment. What else? I don't think I can do a French one. My dad used to do a French one just to be silly. He also used to switch between doing a French one and an Australian one. In all fairness though, my dad has been around French people. It was for work trips and stuff like that, so he would sometimes be there a couple weeks in France for some meetings and stuff for the company that he worked for. I think he had been to Germany a couple of times too. Did a lot of adventuring back then. He used to carry a big old suitcase with him in the check bag too, I remember it too. Yeah, language and dialects are so fun, especially and accents too. I can only imagine what different like obviously different dialects end up pinpointing your location, and that's kind of awkward, scary. I hope that I obfuscate it a little bit, just because of one, my tendency to dip into a southern-ish accent, and two, because I have a weird conglomeration of word choices that I make, where I end up borrowing words from different areas, and it just turns into this Frankenstein combination. Oh wow, that's really cool. That makes a lot of sense too for if you're a military kid, ending up going a lot of places and stuff. You end up picking up the accents from a lot of different kids that you're around. Yeah. I still have the habit, like, if I'm not careful paying attention to how I speak, I end up speaking similarly to the people around me. I think that's a general thing that happens to a lot of people. But I've noticed that when I'm around people long enough, I start also, like, being able to pull their specific accent and tone, depending on which person in the room. For some reason, my brain picks out which one is the one that, I wouldn't say it's the most dominant accent, but it's the one that my brain just picks up on the most. Like, for example, I watch a lot of British YouTubers, and depending on which group of YouTubers I watch, one of them specifically, Smallish Beans, I end up picking up his accent a lot more than some of the other British content creators, which is really freaking funny sometimes. Or if I'm just listening to anybody's voices for a while, I end up picking up on their voice and how they speak, like their cadence of their speech and stuff. It's a lot of fun, but I gotta be careful, especially if I go different places, because I don't want anybody to think I'm mocking them. It's just my brain being like, oh, time to be matchy-matchy with other people, blend in, social. It's like my brain is saying, hi, let's connect by doing the same thing everybody else does. It's like, no, they might not understand that. It might be a little confusing. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's easier to get away with that around friends. Ah! Did it again. Yeah. There's another thing that also happens. I think if I actually put in the time and dedication and effort to learning languages and stuff, I would actually learn them. I still haven't downloaded that app that was mentioned the other day. But if I actually put in the time, I would be able to speak it, because my brain picks up on languages as, like, it registers other languages as, like, I'm like, oh yeah, I totally hear what this person is saying. I know that they're saying things. But this happens a lot when I'm watching subbed anime, especially. Like, if I'm watching something in Japanese, sometimes I forget that I can't understand what they're saying in Japanese. And I look away from the screen and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know what they just said. I know they said something, and it's something in the conversation, but I didn't read the subtitles. Or if, like, I happen to, this also happens with languages, where I hear someone speaking another language, and my brain automatically is like, hey, let's try to speak the language with them, and I'm like, you do not know enough words to conversate, please. Please don't do that. Spanish is the one that gets me the most. Every once in a while, my brain is just like, hey, let's speak Spanish. And I'm like, you will have a garbled mess. It will turn into chaos. It'll be like that one, was it a scary movie? It was one of those scary movies where, like, for some reason, they just had a kid and the lady just saying random Japanese words and putting subtitles below it, when that was definitely not like that. Although I think I'd be able to have a conversation, it would just be really, really slow. In Spanish, I mean. Like, it would take me a second to remember some of the, like, the here, there, over there, way over there type things. Left and right. I do have a vague memory of at least, I think it's left. Yeah. Yeah. I need to... That's cool. That's actually really cool. Learning languages is fun, because then you get to conversate with people, or listen on conversations that they think you don't know. Yeah. enjoy practicing. It's one of those things that I actually need to do at some point. Maybe I'll practice by reading, because I'm pretty sure there's some Spanish language books at the libraries. I'll have to check. I can check right now if I want. I can do the Google search again. Let me see if my local library... Oh, I can't type on that keyboard. There we go. Hello. Perfect. Oh, wrong keyboard again. Language. What? Oh, nice. There is a dedicated section for Spanish language books. That is awesome. That is super awesome. It's even got its own call number. A lot of them seem to be children's books, though. I mean, that's not a bad start to learn from. Oh, hi, puppy. Oh, goodness sakes. There's a puppy by my side who is very happy to get pets. She got brushed today, too, so she's extra soft. She's a good puppy. Oh my goodness, he's so adorable! I got distracted by my dog so fast. Yeah. Maybe next time I go to the library I'll look at a Spanish book. A book that's in the language. Do some reading practice. That'd be good. Although, to be fair, translation is not an exact art. It usually ends up turning into, like, making sure that the meaning gets across. The joys of localization. I can imagine the localization shenanigans that happen with this game. I think I was thinking about that in the other day when I was playing Birth by Sleep. Because some of the dialogue choices are very interesting. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them fit, and then some of them like... Is this a localization thing? Why am I getting a headache? I should not be having a headache. What the heck? Do I need to turn off my Minecraft torch? I might have to turn off my Minecraft torch. No, I don't want to turn off the torch. I like the torch. It brings me great joy. Sorry for the long pause. I had to drink some water. It was very necessary. Woo! Ooh, another idea. I should rewatch one of my favorite shows, but in Spanish or in just any other language. It's either Spanish or Italian. Those are my two target languages if I actually pick up on language learning again. Spanish at minimum because I've learned it the longest. And a large portion of the world knows some. So it would open me up to a lot of conversations. With varied results because of dialects and different countries' word choices. If I remember right. Yeah. Because in different regions there's words that mean different things. Like it might be the same word, but it has a different meaning in the other country. Kind of the same way that happens in English. For example, pants. In American English, pants are the outerwear that you wear on your legs. In the UK, pants are what Americans know as underwear. Very important distinction. If you're trying to say pants is an outerwear when you're in the UK, the word that you're looking for is trousers. I think you can get away with jeans, though. Jeans are just known as outerwear, so. Good to know, by the way. I'm trying to remember if there are any other words that have shenanigans going on. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm still feeling the after effects of the low sleep weekend. Even though I actually slept in for an extra hour. Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. Oh no. Nailed it. Okay. Hey, we started off at like 19,500 and now we're at 15,500 and it's under the 2-hour mark, so yeah, 19, 15. Yeah, that's about 4,000. We're doing great tonight. Woohoo! Doing an excellent job keeping up on the thing. The thing, I say. The only con of even numbers is that you can't make a flat-out estimate of stuff. I mean, technically you can. It's just nothing divides evenly. It's either off by 1, 3, 5, or 7. Or, yeah, 1, 3, 5, or 7. With, like, those are the remainders for if it's divisible by 8. If it's divisible by 8. If it's divisible by 4, it's just 1 and 3 remainder. Because we're working with only odd numbers because of this. I wonder if there's a pattern of the remaining XP on the level being an odd or an even number. Because this level and the previous one were both XP remaining odd numbers, and then before that there were a few even number rounds. I don't know the exact pattern. If I paid attention and marked it, maybe I could figure out the pattern and try to establish something, but I haven't been doing that, and I don't think I want to do that right now. Whee! Another stretch. Boom, 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 boom. Nice. I don't think I can make it to sub 15,000 in the next 10-ish minutes, but it'll definitely be close. It'll be close to below 15,000. We're in the 200s. And with about 200-ish, 291 specifically. Actually, let's do the math once I take out these 3. That's about 24 XP if I do this on a normal round. See, this is why I don't always do the math right away. Let's actually find out. Okay, so we're looking at 267, so that is about 2 or 3, no wait, if I look at 267, 26, that's about 3 total 80s or something like that. So if I did perfect 80s, that would be 3 back and forths away. So about 3 or 4 back and forths before we hit below 15,000. But this is wholly reliant on me getting 8s the entire time. Huh, and I actually have figured out and getting more confidence with my math stuff. I didn't get the urge to check the calculator this time. I remembered that I can just break down the division without having to do the full 80. I can just do the A and then focus on the first two numbers that I was worried about. Nice. Practicing long division is such a wonderful art that I cannot recommend enough. It is really good on the brain to, one, write it down and stuff so then you get used to the process, and two, practicing it outside of your head, like, or not on paper, but practicing it in your head. So then you practice retaining the numbers, remembering, okay, how much is left over, how much to drop down, and then going from there. It's great fun. It's great fun. And you can always be sure that the number that's less than the, like when you're doing the long division, the subtraction part, you always know it's going to be less than the big number, so there's that. I'm not explaining it properly. Darn it. I didn't go to school for teaching. There was an elementary program, like an elementary education program available, but I didn't go into it. I probably would have gone a little bit crazy. I was just focused on getting my degree and finishing school because I was like, I need to finish my degree. Part of me kind of regrets it because now it's just like, crap, now I can't go back to school. But I mean, I would have just because then it would have been like figuring out transfer credits and stuff like that if I try to do something else. Sometimes I'm like, I should go back again, but the problem is that now that I have a degree, I cannot use the FAFSA or FAFSA. I don't think I can use it. I have to do it all on my own. Darn it. I have to dig up scholarships that hopefully don't sell my data to random third-party companies to send me millions of emails. Oh well. But this also would mean that I would have to like go back to any sort of schooling and stuff like that. Could always get a business degree. Those are supposedly really easy. I say supposedly because there's probably some interesting shenanigans that are afoot. Like the one school with the one program that I pick, business program that I pick or something like that, it just happens to be one that actually does more than what people say the regular ones do. Or something along those lines. I don't even know what I'd do with a business degree. Show it off, I guess. Be like, hey, I have a business degree. It'd be funny. I don't know. I keep thinking about a lot of stuff that I end up bringing up and being like, oh, I should totally do this. I should totally do that. It takes me a long time to actually like do the thing. Like for example, the streaming thing. It took me a long time to decide to do this. Like to decide, okay, I'm gonna do this now, and so forth. Every once in a while I get a moment where I just spontaneously do something as soon as I think of it, but it doesn't happen too often, and half the time it doesn't, I'm not happy with the end results, so I'm like, okay, sometimes contemplating for a really long time saves me a lot of grief. Less in the way of actual grief and more just like less stuff that's really annoying or something like that. Yeah. Wow. Oh my goodness. Ooh, we're hitting sub 15,000 and And here I thought I wouldn't be able to do it in 10 minutes. That's amazing. Let's go. Hey, can I get you, Dusk? Okay, good. Woohoo! We're below 15,000. Let's go. We're doing great today. Wee. Sometimes I should just do the thing. Going back to that whole waiting to do stuff or contemplating something for a very long time. Sometimes I think I should just do the thing. I'll figure out which things I want to just do the thing for. Other ones I will have to do a lot of planning and process for that. Nice. Ooh. I think for a second I thought I heard something howling in the distance, but I think my brain is lagging. That could be it. Whoa, how did I do that? I'll get to find out when I actually see it on live. Oh wow. That's kind of magical. Actually, that makes a ton of sense. That makes a ton of sense. Alright. Swing, 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 swing. Can one of you just attack me already? Oh wait, I need to press the triangle so then I move them to where I want them to be. Nice. Beautiful even. Wow. Hey, and even if I get around like the usual average, the next one, yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot. Cool. Alrighty. Beautiful. Let's save, because that is like 2.5 hours of progress or so. Well, maybe not 2.5, but almost 2 hours of progress. Alright. Big stretch. That's gonna do it for the stream. We got approximately 4,000 XP down. Gotta do that at least 4 more times if my math is correct. Exciting. Thank you all so much for stopping by or popping in and saying hi. It's good to see everyone. If you are on the YouTube side and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and the bells to get notifications for when I go live or post a video. If you're on the Twitch side, hit the follow button so then you get notifications when I'm live on Twitch. If you don't want to do either and just want to see my social posts, then I am on Blue Sky, Twitter.com, and I also do the posts on YouTube. I do have a Tumblr, but I don't use it for posting when I go live just because I know the Tumblr culture and they'll be like, hey, can you stop clogging the tags or something like that? You know, just being polite to the culture that I am chilling in. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a good afternoon, evening, night, day, whichever time it is. Have a good one. Here is your ending stream card. Have a wonderful time.